Maneater is one of the dumbest and most fun games I've played in a very long time. For those that aren't too aware of the game, Maneater is what Tripwire and Deep Silver are calling a shark PG. So essentially you are a shark and your goal is to level up, kill humans and get revenge on the guy who killed your mother. It is a silly premise, but it's just enough there to just go, okay, this is the way we are. Like everything from the presentation. So if you're not aware, the presentation is done in a sort of Discovery Channel, National Geographic style reality show. So I guess more Discovery Channel, where they follow some fish hunters, and there's one in particular that is out to get a particular shark that may have killed his father, and on the hunt for him he comes across your mother, who he then guts and finds out it's a baby shark, which is who you play as. But he marks you to know when it's you to get when you're older. It's a weird premise, but it works because the gameplay is just an absolute, I guess, just one of those treasures of this year, which is, it's bloody dumb in, I mean, the best way possible. So the main goal is you move from area to area. You will have missions. Missions are pretty straightforward. It's usually eat this many humans, kill this many fish, take out specific higher level fish. As you do that, you'll tick off a checklist. Once you hit that checklist, you'll be given a last mission, which is usually the apex predator of that area. You then clear out or kill that one, and then you move on to the next area. There are a lot of things though along the way that will add more variety to the game. So as you sort of kill humans and cause destruction, your infamy level will increase. As your infamy level increases, you will have to take on a series of 10 different hunters, I guess is the best way to call them. Those hunters don't really change things too much. Eventually you'll get to hunters that have bigger boats or have like electric shields protecting them. But as you take out the apex predators, as you take out the hunters, you'll gain new mutations for your shark, and these can be anything from having electricity damage to increasing your damage resistance, to even things like being able to spend more time on land. And it is all these little variables that allow you to sort of craft your shark to the way you want them to. You have a radar which will show where a lot of the enemies are, as well as collectibles. Another major part of the game are collectibles, and these collectibles are another aspect of how you can get different mutations for your shark. As you hit certain levels, you will evolve and become much bigger, stronger, and be able to take on higher level enemies. Every single enemy, be it fish, be it actually non-competitive fish, they all have levels attached to them. But one of the major things is collectibles that will give you a lot of resources. So you will get a number of resources that which you then can use to level up your character and upgrade aspects of you to make you more stronger and viable against the tougher enemies. It is a very rinse and repeat type of game, I won't lie, but the actual gameplay evolves enough, see what I did there, evolve, to it just being an absolute blast to play. You can end up, by the end of the game, you can end up flying 50, 100 feet into the air, jump onto land, clear out a whole beach of humans as they run and scream, which really should be traumatic, but the game's process is just so silly and dumb that it's just kind of funny the whole time. It's definitely a switch off your brain type of game. Combat is very simple. It's one button, or on PC that I played, it's one click. So one click is a bite, the left mouse, and then the right mouse actually does a tail whip. You can eventually sort of mix and match them a little bit better. So what you can do is you can pick up an enemy with bite, and then if you have the fish or whatever it is in your mouth and then you hit tail whip, he will throw the enemy over your mount and smack it with your tail off into the distance. For bigger enemies, then you can do a thing called thrash, where you just sort of move with the mouse. In my experience, you just wildly move it left and right like you're thrashing as a shark. Like, it is that level of dumb but intuitive and fun. That makes it's not that long of a game. I'd say it's about an 8 to 10 hour game, but it's just so enjoyable. I literally had a blast with every single moment. It's not going to win any awards, it's not going to change the structure of games, but it's a very, very, like, that's the thing, it feels like a game. Like, I know this sounds so dumb given that it's the games review channel and everything, most videos, if not all videos you see, is about games, but it feels like a very silly game. And it's a game. It's got all the game mechanics, it's got checklists, it's got levels, it's got stat numbers, it's got everything you want, but then also you're a shark that can go on land eventually and absolutely cause havoc. There's a narrator, Chris Parnell, who I know from Rick and Morty, who's does a great job of just grabbing like enough fun from it all. Like, there's some great lines, like puns is a massive part of the game. Most missions are references or puns to culture, which is fun, can cause a chuckle or two, but this game as a whole just causes chuckles the whole way through. If you're looking for a nice little distraction from everything, and just have a blast, switch off your brain for about 8 hours, I highly recommend Maneater.